Hi, my name's Lewis and I'm the Senior Sous Chef at Southampton University. Today is episode 2. We're cooking a spiced chicken burger with pepper and a halloumi, so follow along, recipes will be up after. If I go through all the preparation bits, then you can go through it afterwards, so we can support you and stuff like that. But to start off with, if anyone wants to grab their green board from underneath, mine is a brown board. So if I go through and I'll prep all the veg and then we'll go back through it all together. Today we're just going to do sour cream and chives. So I'm just going to cut all these up nice and fine. You have got a selection of knives. Obviously, if we are walking around with the knife to the sink, just make sure it's all pointing downwards, just in case someone walks around the corner. So the best way to do chives is you could use a little bit of paper. I've bunched them all up for you, or you can just hold them. I'm just going to just run the knife through nice and carefully and cut them nice and fine. Obviously, when you get to the end, it's going to be a little bit more awkward, so just go nice and slowly and make sure your fingers are all nicely tucked in. I'm just going to add that to the sour cream. And we'll just give that a nice little mix. And that's going to be all ready for our burgers. And then next, we're going to do the cabbage for the mayo. I wouldn't recommend cutting it as a big chunk. If we just separate it down to a couple of layers at a time, it'll make it a little bit more manageable when you're not going to slip off, and vice versa. So if we just basically just shred this down nice and finely, I'm just going to add this to the bowl to make our slaw. So the other bit of this ingredient is a lemon. The lemon's used in both parts of this. Obviously, you're going to marinate your chicken in it, but we're also going to use a little bit for the slaw. So if we juice the lemon into this little cup, I'm just going to use half of it for the slaw and the other half for the chicken. And the rest of it's going to be the mayo. So you've got sour cream and mayo. We'll go through and make sure it's the right one. I'm just going to mix that with that, and that will be our slaw. Obviously, where its lemon juice is acidic, it's going to obviously slowly break down the cabbage and release a little bit more water. So it might be a little bit dry at the start, but obviously over the time, it's going to break it down a little bit. Make sure you tuck your fingers underneath, just because obviously if you lay your fingers like that, you're more likely going to catch the end of them. And then just take it slow, cut it nice and fine. I'm going to obviously show you the chicken breast and how to prep it. Obviously yours will be a tofu, so it'll be slightly different, but we can talk you through that at the start. This is a normal chicken breast. It has got the bone in and skin on. So that just means, obviously it's got the little chicken wing on it. We're just going to butterfly this basically, just so it cooks more evenly. Obviously, a lot of the time you don't buy this in the supermarket with a little bone on, but obviously if you was at home, you could, obviously for this purpose, we're just going to remove it. So once you've removed that chicken bone, we've just got a nice little breast, and we're just going to butterfly this open. So you probably want a littler knife for this, and we're just basically going to run the knife down the middle, start it off, and then we can just open it up so it's a nice little, almost like a love heart, just so it cooks more evenly. Like that. Obviously, if you've got any excess skin, we can just trim the skin off, and then we're going to marinate that in the hot sauce and the rest of the lemon juice. If you like hot food, this is quite a mild hot sauce. Obviously, if you like it hot, you could add all of this, or if you don't like spicy food, add a little bit less, vice versa. Or if you don't like hot food at all, you don't have to add it. And then we're just going to basically stir this together just to marinate it all together to give you a nice bit of flavour. Okay, to start off with, we're going to put our pan on the heat. Just to make sure your pan gets to a nice, even heat, the best way you can do this is just to hover your hand above it. When you can feel the temperature come through to the other side of the pan is when you're ready. So we'll add our oil to the pan and then follow with our chicken breast. We'll cook this both ways, try and flip it as little as possible, but you're probably going to get a little bit of caramelization on it, obviously because of the sugars in the hot sauce and the lemon juice. Once your chicken breast is cooked, or about 80% there, we'll add a halloumi to the pan, followed by the pepper. And just make sure your chicken breast reaches that temperature of 75 degrees. I hope you enjoyed following along with episode 2. We've got lots more to come, so tune in next time.